Good day, YouTubers. I want to thank you for watching this how-to video. I know it's pretty long, but after watching just once, you should be able to repair your own air ducts too. This was a kind of a complicated process for me to go ahead and figure all this out on my own. I've never seen how to do air ducts before or even anything remotely close to it. So I kind of just winged it. But I think I was able to explain everything in a manner that you should be able to duplicate what I've done here. So go ahead, sit back, relax, watch, enjoy, and view the whole thing. So this is my crawl space. It's kind of tall enough I can walk in. It's a mess. I mean, it's rock floors. Today's video is going to be about my journey in redoing my AC ducting. So this is the canister thing. I don't know what it is. The duct, the main duct comes from the AC that's down in that hole. Comes up here, comes along. Had to bring the camera down to my old duct work, which is this stuff. Now that right there, I've already patched that because it was leaking air. Obviously, look at this. Look at this stuff. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's all wet. It's gross. There's moisture everywhere. But this is what I was working with. So I patched everything up, left the AC off. We sweat our butts off so this stuff could dry. But as it turns out, it's still, as soon as it got humid and wet in here, the stuff became liquid again. It's gross. This canister's freezing cold. I'm losing so much energy through this junk, right? So I was like, well, I guess I'll just re-insulate it, you know? Might as well. So I went to the friendly Lowe's department. Got some insulation from Lowe's, this handy dandy stuff. Reflectic standard edge insulation. So I got that stuff, right? And I wrapped my AC duct work. And I did a good job. I mean, it's beautiful. Did all this. Worked hard on it. I did. Only to come down here days later to see it sopping wet. Well, Michael, you can't just put that over your duct and expect it to work. Well, I wrapped what was left of the old stuff. It was still kind of thick. You know, I was like, well, might do something, you know. It's got to work. This stuff's supposed to be awesome, you know. This is freezing cold, by the way. Freezing. And it's so humid under here, I just want to drink the water coming off of it, which is probably a bad thing. But, so I wrapped from here, came down, sopping wet. This old stuff is still damp. It's wet, it is. But I wrapped all the way up to here. Another spot that I had to seal in really good because it obviously wasn't connected at all. Well, I guess it's not obvious, but it wasn't connected. So I connected it, wrapped all along it, thinking I was doing a great thing. This stuff's gonna be amazing. It's actually so wet that this 3M tape, this cold weather tape, didn't really hold that well. There's a few spots that it was peeling off, and I went back and I pushed it back on. Here, I don't know if you can see here that it's peeling off, but this is how humid it is. This thing's insulated. This big square thing, it's got insulation on the inside. When these tubes are off, I peeled it open, I looked inside, and there's insulation in there. That board behind there is not all wet. It just looks like it because of my camera. But I did all this. Was ecstatic about my job well done. I was going to rewrap that with those rolls that you see. But got all this. And I just can't believe that it's crap. Now here, where they shove that crap in there, that's, I mean, I guess it's good. But over here, you could tell where the moisture's been on the brick for a long time and a little bit of mildew starting to build up. I think I'm going to get some regular foam insulation stuff like that that has the backing on it, and I'm going to put it from board to board and staple it in so it seals that up. But tomorrow we're going to go to Home Depot, who has this stuff called Flexiduct, which happens to be in here, right here. So this stuff, there's no sweat, there's no moisture until you get to up here. So this stuff I don't know what to do with past there, other than I'll actually get the regular wrapping insulation stuff and wrap that, and then spray it all with like Flex Seal or something, I don't know. But so they've got all this, and then it gets to here where they connect it to the old ductwork, and there it is. That's my tape job. There's a little bit of moisture on there, but nowhere near as much as down here. I can't believe, I mean, I'm just like shocked at how much moisture is. Yeah, you know, I'm not shocked how much moisture is in the crawl space. There's obviously going to be a lot. There's my microwave and toaster oven. We don't actually use those in the home. They're just down here. Sarah actually does come down here to pop popcorn and then go back upstairs, which we have occasionally. Not often enough to warrant having a microwave inside the house. So we keep it down here. It needs to get cleaned off. I think it's all getting mildewy, obviously. So this is my work so far. This is all going to come down. Taking this down tomorrow. We're going to Home Depot. We're going to get that flex tube. And since I spent so much time reconnecting the metal ductwork that's under this insulation back up to the canister, I'm going to take a Sawzall and just cut off the ends, so that way I have something to actually zip tie my flexi duct to, and then just run new tubing both sides, and go from there. So, and as far as that stuff, that just does not want to dry even after leaving the AC off. I almost feel a little breeze somewhere, or it's just so cold that it actually feels a draft. This stuff that was completely dry as far as I knew. I mean, I blew dry it until it was whatever color it turns when it's dried, not this wet color. But so this is the stuff. I do not recommend it to anybody. DP 1030 water-based duct sealant, 0 lead. Yeah. Don't get that. I mean, it just, I guess water-based means it can reconstitute and become wet again. I don't know. It just, that makes no sense. So it'll be, AC will be off all day tomorrow, and get rid of all this moisture and reseal what I can reseal. And I'm thinking if I can find some of that. Look at this, all this drippage from here. All that. I gotta get all that taken care of. Get it all taken care of. So enjoy my adventure redoing this stuff. Now this stuff I already spent money on, and I don't necessarily think I can take it back to Lowe's. So I'm going to take it and just wrap this main ductwork with what I can, just to add a little bit of insulation. Or we're going to take this and wrap the hot water heater, just to give it a little more thermal protection, save us a little bit of money where we can. But yeah, all this is going to come down tomorrow. Tomorrow. Bishop. Hi, baby. Hi, Reagan. Alright, so I'd like to tell you to stay with me and enjoy my adventure, but I'm going to try to splice this video all into just one semi-long video, and we'll see. We'll go from there. But hopefully I can rid myself of all this excess moisture that's in here, insulate this main duct, and see what we get out of. Now this is only this half of the house. We still have the other half to do, which has quite a few ductwork over there. But this is, depending on the cost of doing this side, I may just gut that side and flexi tube that whole other side too. because this flex tube stuff obviously seems to be fairly good. I mean, I don't know the lifespan of it, but 50 bucks for 12 or 60 bucks for 25 feet. If it only lasts me 6 years, I mean, it's not a bad deal. As long as the kids don't come down here tearing it up, and they're not allowed down here, so we'll go from there. All right. So we're gonna hopefully go from this crap, shredded and wet, nasty, to this, and then figure out how to insulate that to reduce this moisture and let it dry. But all in good time. Ciao. So we went to the depot, got 50 foot of this stuff, 6-inch, 25 foot in length, R6 insulated flexible duct, 33% more insulation. So the goal with this stuff is going to be, we're going to cut down the old stuff and replace it with this. If my math is correct, I'll have a little bit left over, you know, or I probably won't have many left over. It'll just be some that'll have a little more slack than the other, because I measured out the 4 ducts that we're replacing. Got wire, I've got hose clamps. They're going to clamp this over the connecting pipes, which I did buy new. Sorry about the mess in the van, but doing this in some light. So this is the 6-inch starting duct. So this will go in my AC, like main run. I don't know what it's called. These little fins are going to open up, clamp in there, help hold everything in place. And then I'm going to clamp this hose. It's going to get clamped onto here with that wire clamp. And that'll be that. Hopefully. We'll see. Hopefully I can provide you with information that's going to help you do this on your own if you ever so choose. I also did get a metal saw blade, metal cutting saw blade for my Sawzall. Just in case, I do have, there's a couple of ducts that are actually put on the main ductwork properly. So those I'm probably just going to cut. This looks like 3 inches. I'll probably cut 3 or 4 inches back on it, just leave it connected to the main housing, and then just clamp this over that. But we'll see. If I start cutting and it falls off, then it's back to Home Depot for 2 more of these. But hopefully that's not the case. So let's get started. All right, let's talk about some of the supplies that I'm going to be using today. I've got my insulated flexible duct right there, 2 feet or 2 boxes, so I got 50 feet of that. Sawzall for any cutting I might have to do. New blade for the Sawzall, which is already like 5,000 degrees and it's only been up there for a minute. Tin snips, because you never know what you might have to snip. Tape, aluminum tape. This 3M stuff seems to be pretty awesome. As you can tell, I've used most of that roll. It did hold up pretty well with all the moisture that's under the house. I don't know. This galvanized duct tape max static load equals 40 pounds. It's just going to help to hold this flex tube up in place so the kids aren't, you know, bumping into it. I'm not bumping into it. It's not hanging down or anything like that. I got the length. I mean, I'm not really worried about how long it is, because I figure I can, you know, if any spot sags at all, I can just, you know, cut off another piece of that and screw it into place and it'll be fine. This stuff, even though I don't really like it, I don't trust it, it does plug holes. I mean, it's still soaking wet or whatever. Maybe when I put it up there now, it plugs up whatever holes are there for now, and then when it cools off and it's a little less humid out, it will dry. I can come out, hit it with some more coats. That way when next spring, summertime comes, hopefully really you won't get wet again and, you know, get all nasty. Or I apply it during the dry season. Once it's nice and dry, just go out to Home Depot and, you know, get some of that spray sealant stuff that will dry. And when it does get humid, this stuff won't re-moisten because it'll have that flex seal, you know, whatever crap over it. We'll see. 2 connectors to connect these together, because I figure it's going to get cut at some point, and I'll have to match pieces together. I don't know. We'll see. Two starting things, because like I said, 2 of the ducts are on there pretty well, so I shouldn't need the starting collars for those. I'll just cut them with the Sawzall. And then lots of these little rings. 4 rings to connect to the main air duct system, 4 rings to connect to the house, and then 4 rings to connect the connectors, because it'll be a ring for each one. But that should be all the supplies that I think I really need. And goggles, you know, to keep the insulation from the old crap out of your eyes. Fiberglass doesn't really bother me, so I'm in shorts, sandals, short sleeves. If insulation bothers you, obviously dress accordingly. But this is it, and I'm gonna get started here, and I will regularly show you my progress. Ciao. Going to hold the camera. Now start to describe what I'm doing here. So first things first, look at this, all this moisture that collected on this. This is why we're doing this. AC's been off since we went to church. Obviously the humidity's still here in existence. But I got 3M tape. It held pretty well. And this stuff's been on for a week. It was strong enough to peel off the insulation. That's pretty cool. But it's on for a week with all this water, and it held. So it's got to be decent. In my book anyways. But I have other uses for that here in the future, so I'm not going to throw this stuff away. Kind of sucks about the amount of money I spent for this learning opportunity. But you live and you learn. It's okay. So I was kind of told that if I'd have taken this stuff off, that this new insulation would have worked better. I don't see how that's possible, because this is layers of air, and that's what gives you your insulation ratings. So for me, even if this stuff had lost its R value, it still should have provided a barrier, you know, and just added to the R value of this foil here. So I don't know how the physics would change just by being old. And this tape is on here good. I'm very impressed with it. Might use it to tape my children to the wall. But I'll start recording again once I get all this off and get ready to take down this first piping. Alright, so that didn't take long. This is the duct. This is what I had for this one to start. All the way down here. This was my repair work. Trying not to block the shadow from the light. But this was that sealant stuff. So it's still wet here. The lighter color has become re-wet from the humidity. So when I do this again, this color is coming out. I'm going to cut this out, and this is where one of the starters is going, and the same on this side. This is coming out because there's no actual collar here, and there's no starting collar. This pipe just slides into there, and I just put a whole lot of that gunk around it, blow dried it until it was all nice and dry looking, and you know, hoped it would seal and stay. So I'm just going to pull that right out because I know there's nothing holding it in. And then following this stuff up, that's more of my handiwork. that fiber sealant tape, hoping to make a good seal. But as you can tell, it's re-wet itself. Actually, that's all pretty dry. I'm shocked. I mean, all the other stuff that's soaking wet, this is dry for the most part. We do still feel cool air coming from out of here. So we're gonna have to find a way we're gonna insulate that in, whether it be with that great stuff, super expanding foam, or this insulation type stuff here. This is that strap that's rolled up in that box that they use to hang. We're gonna pull this out here, and then when I redo that flex duct, it's gonna go up in there. I'm gonna pull all these nails out, make sure there's nothing sharp that can puncture it along the path. There's nails coming out of the floor that we're gonna have to take care of. But yeah, so we're gonna get the cutting here in a second, and you'll see that. Sawzall. We haven't used this thing in forever. It's like weird electricity stuff in here. Metal bit. I'm just gonna cut. I know it's gonna fall off the duct down there. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. But I mean, whether it does or doesn't, I don't care because it's just coming down. So here goes.
Yeah, I'm moving.
This wasn't even hooked up. There was nothing here. Nothing. So like I said, that just was going to fall out anyways. I knew that. I wasn't worried about it. I'm kind of shocked at the craftsmanship. I mean, there was nothing. There was nothing. Not even a screw. Not even a screw. Just some duct tape. I mean, I guess that's, I don't know. Man, I don't even know. I put that shit on there good. So I'll just take this off here, which there is a screw on this side.
Hot.
See, sometimes you never know what you're gonna find in your old ductwork. A ball that's been chewed on. That's all I see in there. But these will definitely have to be changed at some point. You can see moldy gunk.
Nice.
Well,
You can smell it. Hot.
So first part of the piping's off. A little dusty in there. It's okay. Guess we'll pause this. I'm gonna untape and undo my work here that I had done to seal this up. And take this pipe down, and then we'll turn it on when we're ready to start running the rest of the ductwork. So piping's down. Starting coupler, it's got these little fins on it to help, I guess, hold it in place. If your ductwork was that thick, mine's not. It's just paper thin with insulation. So I'm going to insert it, push the fins open so it kind of helps hold it in place. If there's ever any tugging, it's just not going to come out. And then I'm probably going to just run a sheet metal screw in there just to really actually hold it in place. But super simple. We got 6-inch ductwork. As it turns out, these holes are 7 inches, so I don't know if I'd have got 8 inches, I don't think it would fit at all. 6 inches gives a little bit of room, but it's in place. It's got this little tab here, there's a little bend there that actually helps hold it. And I'm just gonna bend some of these tabs to help hold it in place. They're not gonna do too much for it. So this still will get that sealant stuff on there, just to help seal so we don't not losing air through any of these leaky spots. But that's it. Check see if I have sheet metal screws. I'm pretty sure I do. And just bang a couple screws in there, And then down here, this is what our box thing. Hopefully I can be able to get everything to hook up. So first little hiccup on the road was that these things are all 7 inches. And not 8. So if I'd have got 8-inch ductwork, I guess I could have put it over it and crimped it down nice and tight. So I'm just gonna take the 6-inch out and put it, just see what happens. I don't know, because that is definitely a size change, or I can just get a reducer. We'll see. So the 6-inch is going back, and we're going to get the 8-inch because it's going to be easier to crimp an 8-inch hose over this 7-inch diameter tube.
This is too small, so,
So
it's inside the hole instead of around the hole.
Yeah, what she said. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to get some caulk, and when we get that 8-inch here to go over this, we're going to caulk around it, stick the tube on it, put everything over, and crimp it down with the rings. Yeah, we'll be back. This is just going to stay like this. We're going to keep the 6-inch down here, just because it's fine. It'll be all right. We're going to screw it into place and seal it, and that'll be perfect. And we'll go from there. So we had to go back to Home Depot, get some new supplies. The 6-inch wasn't big enough, so we got 8-inch, 25-foot length. Home Depot didn't have the metal hose clamps that would go 8 inches, 8+ inches. So I went with these 36-inch nylon ties, but I didn't get that cool adjustable thing. I figure I'll just put a pair of pliers to it and yank it really hard. Gorilla tape, so that way I can reduce this 8-inch onto our 7-inch receiver. Liquid nails, subfloor. It's made for like outside decks or whatever. It'll work. And I really got it because of the temperatures. In the wintertime or in the summertime, you know that AC's running. Obviously, it's not 22 degrees going through there. I wish it was, but it's not. That's all I changed as far as my went. Yeah, we already know what that is, Reagan. We talked about that earlier, and everything else stayed the same. So it's time to get back to work. I got to do some measuring, and then we're gonna cut this stuff down to size and start putting it up into place.
Do you need to cut with this?
No. But I don't need you cutting with it, Reagan.
Why?
Because it's not for what you're doing. Thank you. Like I said before, this is up here. Still a 6-inch. I've measured from here to that wall is 12 feet. I'm going to cut a 13-foot piece so that way I can connect here, bring it up into this canister here, and run it all the way down, and then drop it at the last minute. So before I do that, I'm going to take a hammer and I'm going to go bang down all these nails where there's nothing sharp in my way. So that'll be that, and then I will be turning this back on in just a minute. So we've hammered the nails flat that we're poking out and put duct tape over them just to make sure that the sharp pieces aren't going to be poking anything. But that was it, just 2 nails through that slide. And what I'm going to do is bring it up over this, drop it down and into here. This nail should be okay. I don't know, I don't think there's enough room to get it to come in through here. Otherwise I would have done it that way, just so it's to maximize the amount of space that I'm using up there. But we'll see. I'm going to run it down through that and then strap it up inside as close as I possibly can to keep it safe. So I'm going to cut it 13 feet, and then I will turn this back on when I put the caulk around here, put it on, duct tape it so it holds it in place, and then put the foil over this and zip tie the foil down to this box. So Reagan will be holding the camera for that, and it'll be just a couple minutes. I'm actually going to take this nail out too, just in case they decide they want to get in the way. So those will be covered up. We got 13 feet cut. It looks so long. Holy crap. But this is it. So let me show you down at this side, because this is where we got some of the slack. So this is what's gonna go over our receiver, and I'm gonna put that liquid nail down, stick this on, duct tape it nice, and see, this is bendable, so the duct tape's gonna seal there. Pull all of this up and over, and then zip tie it down really nice and snug, and then just take a wrench or whatever and twist it up in it to kind of pull it tighter, than since I don't have that tool. But this is it. Supposedly air duct class R6, blah blah blah. See how it works, and then I'll use my straps to strap everything up in place, and we'll go from there. So it's gonna be cool. Reagan's looking for a caulking gun that Sarah used, and once he brings that back, we'll get to do more. So be back. So it's in place. Nothing's connected yet. We're waiting on the wife to get back. She knows where.
What? Why are you doing it?
She knows where the caulking gun is, and I had to wait for the drill to power up a little bit. But really what we're waiting for is the caulking gun, so that way I can put the caulk on there. See, it's not, wow, I'm falling down. It's not connected. So what I'm gonna do is,
Can I hold it?
yeah, son, just wait a second. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and take this, screw in, and just screw it all into place. Because I cut it to the right length. I got it where I want. I can fasten it, that way it stays in place while we're working on it, and there won't be any extra weight while anything's drying that we had set up. So this stuff, got a little feeding tube. It's a bit of a pain in the butt.
So odd.
Ta-da! Just like that. So I've got that out.
Why
Screw.
At my
Screw gun.
What's this thing in my shoe? Daddy, this thing's in my shoe.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Hey, get off of my feet. I told you. So.
I guess it'd help if I had to hold this.
My neck hurts doing this.
Well, you don't have to look at it with your face the whole time, son.
I'm looking if I can see those things.
Well, can you see it?
Yeah?
You're doing a good job. Alright, so Harvey, give me those scissors up there with the red handles.
What?
The red handle. Right there on top of the box of screws.
This?
Yep. Bring those to Daddy. Oh, man.
These are scissors.
Yes. Oh, and I just stuck my hands in all that wet goop.
Ew. Coffee. Hi.
So,
Coffee. Oh, I'm going. Oh yeah, you're going bouncing. Fight the guy.
decided how much I think I need. Friggin'. Son, what are you doing? Is that how you're supposed to be my cameraman?
No.
So Harvey didn't totally lose the whole box of screws. Whew.
What's next?
Well, what I'm going to do is fasten it over here now. I want to keep this as tucked in as I possibly can. So it's out of the way.
How do you move? How do you move? I have to sit there. I can't sit here. Sit on that. Fine, I will.
Damn. One strap done. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and cut the rest of them to length and then work on them a little bit at a time. So we can stop recording for now. Let's hit the stop button.
This?
There you go, it's recording. Keep it on my hands, not on my face. So we've got some construction adhesive. I don't know if it's all gone or not. But I figure if I got some left, might as well not waste it, right? So as my new assistant can point out, all the straps are on now, and it's not really compressing that diameter that we have in there. So, and this side's loose because if you bring the camera over here, you can see that I'm crossing the beam at this point, and I didn't want it to be too tight. Ugh, this thing needs to get out of here. This stuff is sopping wet from humidity. All right, so the straps have everything in place. This is still free to just move around. So what I'm gonna do is just first make sure there's caulk in here. I did cut it. Well, this feels dry too. Guess we can cut it further. I don't care how big the hole is, really. This must be why my wife thought it was empty. Come on. Well, that was great. I thought I broke it. There. So I'm just gonna squeeze it up here. And if this doesn't make a perfect seal, I'm not going to be too worried about it, because this is just going to help hold the ductwork together. And I'm only doing this because I think it should probably be done. I don't know if it's something that people actually do or not. But so that's there. You get the duct tape ready. What I do with that, I got this bright light flashing in my eyes. The duct tape's right here.
Duct tape. Check. Relax. All that.
Tubing goes over. Get it up on there nice and good.
And Daddy gonna use the duct tape. He's gonna wrap it over. Just this.
These first couple pieces are just going to help hold until I can wrap it. This tape does not feel very sticky at all, though. It's made by Gorilla. It's supposed to be good. We shall see. Almost worried myself there, because the last setup I was going to have the adjustable straps, and when I just looked up there and didn't see them, I almost panicked. But we're going to go with the zip ties instead, so. And I think I'm actually going to zip tie that down just to be sure, because that's
Touch it. It wouldn't look when I was walking.
the Gigantor zip ties.
Hey, what are you doing?
So what I'm doing here is making sure that this wire is under the zip tie. And then I'm getting a good bite all the way around. Because I don't want it to really leak. I feel a spot that it will leak just because of the shape of the box and everything's round. But I'm making sure that I've got a good bite up top, underneath. So that's the ductwork, the zip ties back here, and up on top, ductwork ends here, the zip ties back slightly. Not, kind of wish it was a little bit further back. Slightly considering running a. I wouldn't even be able to run a screw from this angle. Well, this will hopefully do. I'll just duct tape the crap out of up there. Probably use the silver tape on it. But yeah, so probably what I'll do is put that paste up there, just smear it all over, get it all nice and soaking wet, and then silver tape up there before I run this stuff up. So that might be the next part you see. All right, I've got this super bright light, and as you can tell, I've gone ahead and hooked it up. There's a screw right over here. And I used duct tape, which I normally wouldn't have liked to have done, but I did. And then I put that paste crap all over it. The light is like 10 million freaking degrees, so I figure I'll start working on the other side, let this light cook this stuff some more before connecting everything else. But yeah, so I'm gonna move it over one more nail though. First I was worried about it getting too hot while we were eating dinner, but I think it'll be fine. So I went ahead and connected down here. Yes, there is a bug zapper in my crawl space. It stays on all the time, just in case, I don't know. But this stuff's out. I hope it's okay. I don't know, but it's zip tied snug. I mean, I guess I could probably, if I really tried, get it a couple more clicks tighter, and I probably am going to try. But this is on and in place now, so this canister moves. They're not really screwed in or whatever. I'm going to take one more strap, and I think just to help hold this into place a little bit better, and we're going to get the this kind of insulation that's down here. It's like this, but it's got that silver backing on it. I'm going to get that and run it across the bottom over here. To help keep it from getting so moist and cold, and I'll just staple it, you know, or staple it or nail it on this side and the other side, so it wraps and encompasses it all. And then maybe pack a little bit up in here, depending. But so, oh, it's not connected right now. Dummy. But that's my progress thus far. This light is, I mean, I can still see the wet spots, but the light's really cooking it, and I don't have to hold a damn blow dryer to it. You can see in there. I don't have the money to go and replace this whole freaking thing. So, but I'm gonna get to work on taking this down. My camera crew is gone, unfortunately. They're upstairs eating, so this part's gonna be just me. All right. All right, so it's recording. Broke my razor blade last time I used it. I don't know if this thing. Now let's just hope this thing doesn't fall on me. Now that really is for nothing other than to just hold it in place. It doesn't provide any sealant, any protection, just solely for holding it in place. And this silver tape this stuff will cut you. It will cut the hell out of you, by the way. So be careful when using it. I love this stuff so much that I don't mind using a whole crap ton of it, even if I didn't necessarily need to use as much as I'm using. I just like taping stuff up with it. It's really cool. So if you're a professional air-conditioned person watching me do this and laughing, enjoy. I've never done this before. Never done this before, ever. I haven't even watched a YouTube video on it. So if you've got 20 years experience and are going, ha ha ha, just remember this is my first time, and I'm winging it. So if I'm doing a good job, which I think I am, then I hope you enjoy it. This light is so hot, I can feel the heat. Any spot that you see lit up is warm. So that looks good. Now I'm just going to glob this stuff all over. And like thick too. Thick. And again, I'm not worried about making a mess. Just pasting this stuff on. Now if you're in like a finished basement or a garage or something, you know, put some newspaper down. But this is just a crawl space. I'm not under here that much. We bought this house when it was cool out, so the AC wasn't running. Now our home inspector said, hey, your ducts, they look like they could probably use some updating. That was really it. He didn't say, hey, your ducts have hand-sized holes in them like ours did. There we go. So my duct comes here and it's got to go over 2 spaces and then down. So I'm trying to decide if I want it here or up against the wall when I do that. A lot of nails on this side. I have the hammer.
What?
Sweet. Kind of a tight turn, but I don't think it's really going to matter too much. So the duct tape is just there for right now. And once I crank the zip tie down, it'll take care of all that. And I am double zip tying everything, I guess, is what I'm gonna do. Just because, I don't think it's gonna hurt anything to strap this stuff down extra tight. Farfanargan. So you probably don't wanna strip your wire out if you can help it, like I just did.
Well, go get the other zip tie and put it over. Just do it.
What I'm gonna do is just pinch it. Give a little pinch and twist. I still gotta get this thing on snug. And here's the best thing about all this stuff I have is I can just tape the crap out of it. And it's not gonna hurt anything. So if any holes did form when that piece of metal came off, this will take care of it. And this duct tape actually does feel like it sticks to this plastic pretty well. Not that I think it tore out to here, but nonetheless, tape it when in doubt. So, again, don't judge me on my air duct job, unless you really want to. That's fine. So that's on. Now, this goop's not dry. I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna add some more goop to it. And just to get it all behind there. I'll even goop this up. And the reason I'm being so generous with it is because it does seem to take, even thin, because you're going to say, well, no wonder it doesn't dry, you put it on so thick. Everything I just took down earlier was lots of little coats that took forever to dry. So, this coat. Baby, that's not made to be hung on. If it fell, you were hanging on it. So if water starts spraying everywhere,
No, I think
you're calling the plumber. Because I don't know how to do that shit. Alright, so get this pink stuff all up around here, like that. The shiny stuff all up here like that. Voila. I can get it started. So before I crank this on too tight, we'll make sure that it's seated back here. Make sure the silver stuff is out around the entire zip tie. So you get a nice good seal on it. I think that's on pretty good. Probably am going to have to goop this up some more just because it doesn't feel like it's a perfect fit. And I worry a little bit about how tight I make that angle. I think what I'm going to do is loosen these and move them down just a little bit so this bend isn't so tight here. Maybe loosen that bend up a little. Now I've killed two birds with one stone. I kept this open, kept that open. It will still kind of hold this up maybe. Ground goes down right there. So that's zip tied up. I'm gonna get some silver tape, put it across the top and the back up there. It's me taping up this air conditioning stuff. Oh. And just because I like this tape so much. Now what I'm doing here is just obviously helping secure this thing up into the rafters. Again, that's not to be tight, it's actually fairly loose. So remember that comment about making this fit on a 6-inch collar? That it'd be okay? Well, here's the thing. It's not okay. So, the other one's stuck really well. And this one's not sticking anywhere near as well. It'll slide right off. So here again is reasons to follow the instructions properly. So it says silver tape's not really sticking to the box like I was hoping, but it's not sticking like I expected. So you saw little pieces kind of start biting, and we're going to keep getting bigger until we get a layer that'll hold. And that stuff seems pretty dry, just from that light being on it. So what I do know is the silver stuff will stick to itself very well. So that's the start. I do have another roll of this. So even if I run out. Alright, so our AC fan has been running all day just to keep the pipes dry and like stuff not sticking to it. I don't feel any air coming out of there anymore. So I think I did it pretty good. Now I'm just going to glob this stuff all over it. Just to really make sure. This is my house. I'm going to be living here for a long time, I hope. So, and again, if this stuff, again, stays moist like it did, come fall when the air dries up a little bit, which this will be my first fall in this house. I don't really know how dry Alabama's air gets in the fall. So I'll just come back out here and brush some more of this crap on. That's that. Get this insulation out. Bam. So I hope that works. This is first two ducts, so this one goes to mine and Sarah's room. These wires are all going to get cleaned up too, because one, I don't know what half of them go to, and two, we don't have cables, so I don't need any of that shit. But again, like I said, I'm going to get that silver backed insulation. I'm going to put it up there, bring it from this side to the other side, cram some in there or something, who knows. But that's air duct number 1 done. This is air duct number 2 done. Bam. Looks good. Doesn't feel like it's really leaking any air anywhere, so I'm pretty satisfied. This one feels tight. It doesn't feel like there's any space in there. But again, who knows? Who knows how much more one of those like little pincher tools could get. So, and I will probably end up adding more tape to this as I become more paranoid. But that's it. That is it. I got me some R6 on 2 ducts. So I think tomorrow I'll do this one when I get home from work. Just from there to there. Shouldn't be too hard. And if I can get it done fairly quick, we'll move on to the next one. Right over there. Which this is a short run. Because see, they already did it here. And I have that coupling thing. So, but it's only 6-inch. And we just seen how much of a pain in the butt it was to do that. So, we'll have to use some duct tape to hold it together. So, that's it. See, this is what those things should look like when they insert. But I have 6 inches. These are 7-inch holes. Home Depot didn't have 7-inch hole ducts work stuff. So, of course, that's my luck, is that nobody has nothing. Oh no. I don't know what that is. I assume it's a place. Chewing tobacco. But I do think I'm going to clean this pipe up, and I'm going to stick bumper stickers to it all the time. Because I don't want to stick them on my car. So until next time. So if you sat through all 1 hour and 8 minutes of this thing, you are freaking awesome, and I just want to thank you. If you could, go ahead, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2, where I set up the rest of the duct.